Come on in. Come on in, you guys. Say hey. If you see the message to let StreamYard, give StreamYard permission to see your comments, please do so. Let's start there. And also type a 1 if you can hear me. Type a 1 if you can hear me. Thanks, sis. I meant to put my video up, but I'll be fooling around. Yes, I know. I was supposed to put my video up. I'll put it up after this. I'm fooling around. Yes, I'm fooling around. I did it a couple days ago. More than a couple of days ago at this point, actually. Y'all come on in. Thanks for liking my hair. All right, you guys, we need to have a candid conversation. We need to have a candid conversation. There's another incident. This is really twice. Two black men. I ain't gonna say it's a. I don't know. Want to say that. Well, with allegations. Well, one's been validated, which was with Kirk Franklin and his son. He's validated that it was pretty much it was him. It was true, and he apologized for it. But now we're talking about relationship expert Derek Jackson. If you guys have heard the story, I need to fix my lipstick. Hold up. Sometimes it's so confusing. Is it this side? This side. Okay. If you've heard, if you know who he is, say yes. If you don't know who he is, say no. Let's start there so I can see how much background information I need to go into. There's been a lot of videos, a lot of context, a lot of information. Yeah. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Okay, Tamikia Coy saying she knows, she know. Okay. Some people know. Loving the hair. Thank you. This is the second time around. I got my hair before, but I might keep it shorter this time. Not this short, but I'm probably gonna keep it like 1 inch for a minute. We'll see. I'm gonna play with it. I just say life is too short to have boring hair. So I want to cut it, but I want it to grow a little bit before I color it. I want to color it, but I want it to grow a little bit before I color it. Come on in, you guys. Okay, so some of you guys saying you know who he is. Have you heard about the recent allegations? If you've heard about the recent allegations, type of 2. If you've heard about the recent allegations, type of 2. For those who don't know me or see me for the very first time, my name is Jill Bullock, and I am a life transformation scientist, marriage prep coach, here to help you to create a life you love and attract and keep the love of your life. That's what I do. Let's talk about it. Let me change that. Let's talk about it. So let me see if anybody heard of it. If not, I'll give you the backstory. Hey, Jasmine, I see you, girl. Thanks so much for joining. Say, hey, girl. Hey, don't be rude. Come on the broadcast. Y'all say hi. Let's have a candid conversation. I was delaying this live because I was supposed to go live at 8, and I started to go live at 8. But I really wanted to do a little more research regarding this topic before I spoke on it. Let's see. If you know about it, type it. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody typing, so maybe there's a delay in the. Maybe it's just a delay. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. So I'm gonna start telling you guys a little bit about it because I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So there's so many opinions happening right now. And Derek Jackson, for those who don't know, he is a pretty prominent relationship expert amongst Black women specifically. He has a lot of people that loves him. He have, millions of followers, at least 1 million followers on different platforms, on Instagram and other platforms. And he's the guy, he has a game. I actually have purchased his game, Stimulate Me, talking about the importance in dating of stimulating each other's mind. He's also that guy that's always giving relationship advice. A lot of people, and I expect a lot of people are going to have a lot to say and going to come for him. Whether it's true or not, honestly, I think people are going to have him. They're going to try to have him for lunch and dinner because he is known. A lot of men see him as a male basher. And a lot of men see that he's tried to portray himself as this perfect husband, man that don't do no wrong. That's kind of the consensus with men in their feedback. Like a lot of men hate his guts. He's known to say Black men don't cheat and all these other things. So now, unfortunately, there was a young woman who she reported to Tasha K. I don't know if y'all know Tasha K. Y'all probably don't watch Tasha K because her thing is raw and uncut. I did watch her show, mostly just to hear the woman who made the allegations. The lady did not show her face, which I thought that was interesting. She's got like a picture, but there was nothing. She wasn't on video, and I don't even know if I got her full name of who we were talking to. It's just like a voice, right? So, but nevertheless, I understand that there's also the young lady said that July of last year she had an affair with him. Said he was separated. She went to his house. His wife's stuff was still at the house, but she saw moving boxes, so she thought the wife was moving out. She had a 10-year relationship with him, but just recently they had an intimate relationship. Well, July last year, this and forth, and she been, that's the whole thing. And so, what I want to say, I don't know if he did it. I honestly, the way I roll, I don't put anything past anyone. I will like to say that I actually had the opportunity, and I would even venture to say the pleasure, to meet Mr. Jackson in person. And during this was like, I don't think he was officially married at the time. Was it 2016 or 17? Maybe he was. It was 2016 and 17 ish. Either September of 16 or September of 17. I can't remember. And I'm trying to see if he got married. If it's 4 years in August of last year, he might have had just got married. Even if it was 16, okay, so if it was September 16, he would have just gotten married, I believe, in August, because I think he got married August 1st. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to it. I didn't validate that date. And when I met him, it was at a hair show, and there were hundreds, if not 1,000, women at this event. And women were clawing over to try to hear and participate and see what he had to say. Very intrigued by him. He's a very nice. I should have had a picture for those who don't know. I think I do have a couple pictures, and I'll grab a couple. And I'll see if I can pull it up. But he's a nice looking man, built, big guy. Pretty solid. Definitely, I would say most probably would say he's eye candy. Okay. I want to post a couple things. I'll bring it up on my screen. I'm going to see if I can email it to myself and then download it. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, that's not the most flattering picture. Trying to do a screenshot is not the easiest. See, he does a lot of video. But anyway, hold on a second, you guys. So let me just send this to myself. What this about? Okay. Anyway, so like I said, I had a chance to meet him, and even after, I waited around because I wanted to do like an interview. At that point, I was as like a media. I was part of the press, as a blogger, and so I wanted to interview him. And so he stayed behind a very long time, trying to give an autograph or answer all the questions that everybody had. So I can say that in that moment, like he had a heart to give and really was trying to give everything he could to support the women in that time. And at this time, about time I ended up interviewing him, and my husband was also working the event. So that was another reason I was still around, because my husband was still shooting and things like this as a photographer. And so I did interview him. It was a brief, like 1 minute interview. I think I said, you probably still can find it. Is it on my Instagram page? I don't know. I guess I should have pulled it up. Somebody can go check if it's still on my Instagram page. I can't remember. My Instagram is wifey camp right now. So, but I did like a very brief interview with him at that time. And yeah, he was sharing. So what I want to say is, yeah, a lot of people saying he's a hypocrite and all of this, but what I feel like the biggest mistake that we're made is that as we put people, whether it's Christians, whether it's women, we put people so far above humanity, right? And to me, this is a demonstration that nobody is above their flesh. Like we all can find ourselves in a situation like this, and it doesn't make us a bad person, right? It makes us a person that maybe has some integrity issues, or maybe who have some character flaws. Oh, Kate, let me know if you can see me now. Let me know if you can see me now. But it doesn't make us a bad person, right? It doesn't make him a bad person. Now, granted, being that he is on a public stage, let me know if you guys can hear me, because she's saying again reason to believe that she couldn't hear me. The last comment I see is yes, I know Tasha. So you guys, let me know if you can hear me. Just say I can hear you or something, so I can keep going. Let me know. 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 I don't see it. What year am I in? I'm in September 2015. Maybe it was too long to post on Instagram. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm getting somebody saying that they can hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, you guys. So I'm not seeing that interview. Maybe I didn't post it like on my page like that. Maybe it was too long. I'm not sure why. But I haven't. Maybe I'll post it later. We'll see. But nevertheless, I feel like we put people way too, you know what I'm saying? Like above things. And we expect people to be without flaw and people not to make mistakes. And what I'm going to say, which is going to be probably a minority opinion, I'm not of the opinion just because these allegations have been brought forth, whether they're true or not, that dismisses all of his work and dismissing everything he says. I still think he has a valid voice. I still think he has a valid perspective. But what I do want to say, and I'm going to side with my girl, Trey Kearney, what she was saying is, I do believe that women sometimes we put a lot of clout on men and relationship experts, particularly men relationship experts, as if they can add more value, and that their information and resources and advice is somehow more valid than women's advice. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna find that's not really true. Let me tell you what I realize about men. Yes, yes. Two things. One is a lot of times men don't always know what they want and what that looks like and they don't always know like what actually it takes to have, how can I say, I don't want to say they don't know what it takes to have a sexual relationship, but they don't necessarily always know what, as women, what we need to do to meet their needs. Because see, if you ask a guy, a lot of times they think it's about the sex, it's about you catering to them. I mean, I don't hear it as much. Maybe it's starting to come out more. But really what men want, they really want an environment of peace. They really want a woman that's confident. They really want a woman who know who they are. They really want a woman who's fun loving. But sometimes when we're having these exchanges and we're talking about what is that a man want, and what these relationship advice and experts are bringing forth, sometimes they're missing some of the essential things that a lot of women are dealing with. And because they're not a woman, it's harder for them to bring that perspective. They can only bring it from a male's perspective. And I get it, because I guess if I'm single and a woman, oh, well, men know what men want, so let me listen to a man. Not saying don't listen to him. I think he got some good stuff. I think he gives some good advice. I agree with a lot of the advice that he's given. Like I said, I purchased some of his products. I haven't purchased any of his books. Well, maybe I have if it was like an ebook, but I haven't read any. But I know I have gotten a couple of his card games and things like that. So that's what I want to say. So I think this, as women, we need to really understand that, even understand sometimes men in their relationship, they sometimes don't even know when their relationship has gone astray or when there's a problem. Because a lot of times, once there's a problem in a relationship, women, as women, we know there's a problem like 6 months or a year before the problem is full birth into sin or an issue. It don't always have to born into sin. It could be, it could be full blown into drama, chaos, divorce, whatever. A lot of times as women, we have a lot more intuition. We have a lot more foresight. Men, by the time they catch on that something's astray or strained, a lot of times they're way too late. They're way too late, right? And so I just want to say, I'm not canceling Derek Jackson. I pray that it's not true. My heart and prayers are with him and his family. I'm sure, regardless of the fact, it's devastating for his wife. Oh, and I also wanted to mention this when I met him. When I met him, he had a woman that seemed to have been with him. I believe it is the wife that I saw a picture of his wife on August 8th or whatever he posted on his Instagram. I believe that was his wife. And she was there, poised, beautiful, patient, confident, in her holding her own space, and not, in that moment showing any sign of feeling any type of way when all these women are clawing at her husband. And so I thought that was pretty dope that he had his wife there with him. And that's also just something for us to learn and be reminded of, that I think part of them doing that was, one, so she can experience that, and also for him to give her confidence, him being somebody that so many women admire, that she could be confident that at the end of the day, he's coming home to her. And that's also a covering and a shield for him to help remove the temptation. Yes. And so what I said we can learn is we all need to remain in the posture, single or married, that we are always trying to find ways to flee temptations and create a safe space and a way for us to guard ourselves and to guard our hearts, right? Because with the moment we start moving out of those postures and doing the things that protected and provided that covering or protected that boundary, as soon as we start having a breach of the boundary, as soon as we start having a breach of that thing that has been, you know what I'm saying, guarding us, is when we become vulnerable. Yes? Because listen, honestly, I could come on here and try to bash Derek or whatever and say some craziness, but really, is that going to serve you? So I'm going to say, I like to say, I want to take people's mistakes or situations and say, how can we learn something so we can be better and do better as women in our relationships? And that's what I see. That's what I see, and that's what I'm going to say. I want to take any questions that you guys may have regarding this whole situation or any other thing that I may think or about the matter, and let's go from there. I'm going to see if I can pull up a picture too for those who may not know who he is. Now, I do want to say he did recently wrote another book. And in that book, it's called Heal Together Without Hurting Each Other. Now, that's a little different flavor for him. I'm going to pull it up. Hold up. I'm going to try to. Can I pull the picture up on here? Share, screen share. Okay, let me pull a picture first, you guys. I probably got too many things open. But give me a second. This PC, documents. This PC, downloads. Okay. Okay, this one I want to show. 1507. Let me let that one go. Okay. Okay, let me just share this real quick. Hopefully I don't get stuck on the screen. But he recently posted this, which was March 11th, and he said, some learn from research or experiments. Some learn from mentors or mistakes. I learned from all of the above. In my new book, Heal Together Without Hurting Each Other, I share the most life-changing lessons I've ever learned. Why this book? Quite frankly, because marriage is under attack. The belief in it, scariness of it, and capacity to stay married. All of it is under attack. Some people experience this before they even get married in the form of crushing heartbreaks, humiliation, broken trust. And he goes on. So I don't want to speculate too much on this. But this, it seems that perhaps he had expected. I wonder if it makes me wonder if he had expected someone to expose something about him. This came out March 11th. So it seemed like this was kind of like a bracing for the impact, in my opinion. But that's what I have to say about that. Let me look at the comments, you guys. Let's see if you guys have any comments, anything you want to share or ask. Hey, Elsa. How are you, darling? Hey, Monica. Let's see if there's any other comments. Some of you guys are coming up. Thank you, Sonia. How are you? I've been thinking about you, darling. Hope all is well. Kwashanda, I see you. My heart and condolences go to you, my dear. Who just lost a stepdad? Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I see your message, Kashonda, but I think we're good. Who just lost their stepdad, Valicia? So, that's all I gotta say about that. So, what's my takeaways on this live, y'all? So, if y'all have no questions, I'm gonna get off. My takeaway is one, just whether he did it or not, that doesn't dismiss his work and doesn't say that what he's saying is not true. However, yes, could it be a case where he has, I hate to say fall from grace. I hate that term, fall from grace, because when you fall, that's when grace kicks in, right? And so if he has felt fall, that's when grace comes in. So did he do something that may be inconsistent with his advice? Could he had a situation where he actually struggled to execute and live up to the advice and standards that he put out there for everybody? That's possible. Does that make him a hypocrite? Possibly, but not necessarily. Okay. What your biggest takeaway is stop putting people on pedestals and thinking because somebody has talent, because somebody, creating content, that somehow they are above the law, they are above humanity, and they are without flaws. I love what my nephew says, G. Jordan, shout out to him. None of us are all good and none of us are all bad. We all, do good things. We do bad things. We do things that's consistent with our values. We do things that are inconsistent with their values. Every day I don't do everything right and consistent to my values, right? My values is a standard that I'm striving to meet. And so we have to understand. I think the quicker we can start, understanding, man, that's, I'm sad to hear that, but I'm wishing the best for that person. I'm going to extend them grace, undeserved favor, undeserved forgiveness, undeserved understanding of their situation, versus some people seem like they just been chopping at the bits. With all due respect, Tasha K, she was celebrating. She was on the verge. She was on the verge of celebrating this whole situation. And I think because he had exposed her one time and she felt like this was her great revenge to come back and utterly destroy him. But in the midst of her destroying him, it's really destroying a family and his wife and his kids. And it's just so much more to it than that. So, but it is what it is. And that's what she's doing. Hey, Sword Sharia, how are you? Hey, Pamela. Oh, he just lost his stepdad. Sorry to hear that. I did see that. I didn't look at that post. Man, very untimely. And I think wasn't he raised by his stepfather? My condolences go out to him. I did see a post. Laying to the rest, laying you to rest still feels so real. I can't thank you enough for coming in my life as a teen and guiding me into manhood. Okay, I don't know when this happens. Oh, he posted that today. So, I don't know. Some people, I heard he's going to do a live tonight, and address this. So we'll see what he has to say. Another one of my takeaways is that you guys do things to guard you, right? And the things that's working to guard you, your heart, your body, your emotions, don't stop doing those things because you think you have arrived or you think you're above it. Continuously work on escaping temptation. Single or married, we all need to do the same thing. And go from there. And like I said, don't dismiss the smaller voices, such as myself, such as the Trey Kearneys, and women in general, and thinking, oh, because he's a man, he knows. They don't know what they want. They don't know. They don't know what they want. They don't know half the time what make them happy. They think it's all about physical, but it's not. It's not. And the ones who think it's physical, hear me and hear me good. The men who think that I just want some good sex or I just need to have sex or all this stuff, they are the ones that are hurt and who are suffering, oftentimes, who are dealing with a lack of self-control and medicating their hurt, their pain, and their trauma through sex. Yes? Because when I talk to a healed man, what he tells me is men don't need sex. I was telling him they do. He was like, no, they don't. I'm like, yes, they do. He said, no, they don't. But that's talking to a healed man. Talking to somebody who doesn't have that level of maturity may say that. Now, I'm not saying when you're married, don't expect to do that and that is okay. And Joe's saying don't. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it's so much more to us as women. We're bringing so much more to the table. And we need to not solely or so heavily rely on men to tell us how to be women and how to present ourselves. The word of God says that the older women are to teach the younger woman how they ought to behave, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. And I have to say, sometimes older woman is not always older in age, but it can be older in the things of God, because we have some people that may be at a younger age, physiologically, you know what I'm saying, in the world, but spiritually they're at a higher maturity level. Emotionally, they're at a higher maturity level. Socially, they're at a higher maturity level. So although they're younger than you in age, they may be more mature than you in certain areas, and so they're still able to speak into your life. So that's what I believe should be happening. And we still can take the good. I love what my auntie said, and I'm gonna close it with this. She always used to say, what did she say? Eat the meat and throw away the bone. Eat the meat and throw away the bone. Don't hold on to people every word like it's gospel. Understand that black men cheat, white men cheat, period. All men don't cheat, but depending on their trauma and their level of personal and spiritual development can all impact. And the wisdom, come on, somebody, the wisdom, because you can get a man that's spiritual, you got to get a man that loves God and still cheat on his wife. I believe, with all due respect, Pastor John Gray loves God, right? But he hasn't dealt with his trauma. So we need to stop looking at certain categories and things of people and start looking at what's been your life experience. Because if you show me your past, I can show you your future. Yes? Yes. Okay, so that's what I have to say about that. I'm done. It's late. It's 10 o'clock, pretty much. I thank you guys for joining me. I want to invite you guys to a couple things. I just want to invite you guys to join us on this meme campaign. How about that? So we launched, my phone about to die. We launched a campaign talking about boldly transforming your life. And so if you scroll down my page, there's, you can go to, matter of fact, you can just go to, can I type it? I don't know if I can type it. beyetransformimage.com and download your no-cost image to declare your commitment to radically and boldly transforming your life in 2021. That's what it's about. You know, God's been dealing with me so heavily with relationships and saying it's not, people aren't bad, necessarily bad people, you know, but it's people are hurting so badly that's causing them to operate in dysfunction and betrayal and other things in their relationship because they're not healed. They're not whole. They're missing something. And so we need to spend more time renewing our mind and transforming our life. We need to spend more time in our development and cultivating who we are before we go run into a relationship. And nobody's exempt. Nobody's exempt. I'm done. So thank you guys. Head over to betransformimage.com, download your free image, and join us and make your declaration that you are committed to radically and boldly transforming your life in 2021. We have a challenge that's coming up that's going to be dropping in just a few days, and so much more, right? And we're also going to be talking about, girl, let's get over it together, how to release, restore, and rebuild after a loss, whether that's a loss of relationships, relationship, divorce, death, devastation, disease. We're going to be talking about it. So until next time, be blessed. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.